course, dogs are fucking barking when I'm filming. May sundot ng... Ang weirdong word na sundot pala. Hello, friends and strangers. Welcome back. Please don't mind my oily 5-head. And today is the first day of Philmyth Readathon, and it's my first time joining, so I'm very excited because I have my TBR and I'm hoping to get through all of them. And the goal for today, the first day, which is March 28th, is to read at least one to get a badge. And I'm gonna start with something simple, or like something... my dog. Pepper. So something that I can breeze through easily. So one of the books in my TBR is Monstrous by Marjorie Liu. So I'm gonna read this today, and I also hope to finish it today as well. So Monstrous is also in my other readathon / reading challenge, which is the BTS readathon, where I just announced that in a video, and 2, the Buzzword reading challenge by Kayla from Books and Lala. So I hope I'm gonna have a nice reading day, even though it's quite a stressful day. So see you on my next update. Hello again, everyone. I didn't film myself reading Monstrous, but I finished reading that 2 days ago. It's already March 30 today as I'm filming this, and I finished it March 28th, obviously. I loved the book. I loved it, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's such a great book that has a lot of political intrigue, and it has such fantastic art, and I think I'm gonna dwell more on my review when I'm about to film my March wrap-up. So generally it follows the story of Micah Half-Wolf, who survived the Great War and slavery in the hands of a certain race, and she is haunted by the past. So it follows the journey of her trying to run away from these people who want to catch her, and her finding out the truth about herself and her mother and their past. So it's a fantastic book. It just gets confusing at times because you're thrown in this world without, much build up in terms of the magic system, the creatures, the races, but I understand the way that it was written, because this is a graphic novel and it's just a first volume. So there's so much to unpack with, given how short graphic novels are compared to like full-length text-only novels. Generally though, I loved it, and I'm gonna recommend it to anyone who wants to dive into graphic novels, and specifically on steampunk fantasy novels that has an Asian representation, and that takes place in the 1900s. So it's sort of historical fantasy mythology. There's so much going on, but it's so worth it. My next read would be, for the readathon prompt, Manananggal, which is to read a book that has 2 POVs. So only 2 POVs, not more than that. And one of the books that is on my 2021 radar is If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kaur, and it's told in the perspective of the mother and the daughter. I'm not exactly sure again what it is about, but I know it's the mother's struggle with them fleeing their abusive family, and along with her daughter they fled to a different country, and it's, I don't know, I think it's their journey and their struggles with possibly being deported. So I borrowed it from Libby and I'm going to listen to the audiobook today. I feel like it's something that's gonna be difficult to read and I'm here for it. I finished reading Educated by Tara Westover yesterday and I'm so enraged. Of course, dogs are fucking barking when I'm filming. So yeah, I finished reading Educated yesterday and I'm so mad, and it's so good, but it's not part of the Film Myth Readathon. It's just a book that I read out of the blue because I borrowed it, and I have there's a time limit with how long I can borrow it, so I just read through it. It's such a well-written book, but again, it's not part of the Film Myth Readathon, and I'm just giving a context as to where I am in terms of my headspace before I jump into if I tell you the truth. Wow, that's such a struggle to say. If I tell you the truth by Jasmine Kaur. So yeah, maybe my next update would be when I'm done with If I Tell You the Truth and I'm already on to my next prompt and book. So yeah, bye. See you again soon. Hello friends and strangers. I'm checking in to give an update about my Film Myth Readathon reading vlog. Shit, nag-process yung utak ko dun. So I was done with the prompt Manananggal kahapon. Ang prompt na ito ay magbabasa ka ng book na may dalawang POV. So, yung If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kaur is the perfect read kasi it's told in the perspective of a mother and a child. So, sobrang ganda. If you are a fan of Elizabeth Acevedo's books, particularly The Poet X and Clap When You Land, I highly suggest If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kaur kasi sobrang ganda. There are issues and topics, heavy topics specifically like sexual assault, dealing with immigrant trauma, and dealing with misogyny. Sobrang ganda, as in you'll have to listen to the audiobook because it's also narrated by the author herself, Jasmine Kaur. You can find my full review on Goodreads or on my March wrap-up. Oh, no, on my April wrap-up because I read this. I finished reading this yesterday, April 1. It's already April 2 today. I borrowed the audiobook and it's fantastic. Ngayon namang araw, sisimulan kong basahin ang libro para sa prompt na Malakas at Maganda. Malakas at Maganda reading prompt for Film Myth Readathon is to read a book by a Filipino author written in your mother tongue. So I have the perfect book for that, which is Janos Silang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon by Edgar Calabia Samar. And I bought this last February for February birthday haul. Perfect match siya sa prompt na ito because it's written by a Filipino author and Filipino yung language na ginamit sa libro. Matagal na yung huling time na nakabasa ako ng libro sa Filipino, and I think college yung huli kasi may Filipino subject kami tsaka Rizal course. Interesting siya kasi so far siguro nakakailang pages pa lang ako. Natural yung dialogue, natural yung daloy ng storya. Like, hindi siya mahirap basahin. Especially for someone na hindi naman araw-araw nagbabasa ng libro na Filipino yung lingwaheng ginamit. Feeling ko magugustuhan ko yung libro kasi may gaming aspect siya. which is yung Tala. Role-playing game siya na gawa ng Pinoy, ganyan. Tapos, so far, okay siya. Nakaabang na ako sa 4-4 sale sa Shopee para sa books 2 to 3. And, ayun, magpapabudol ako dahil mukhang magugustuhan ko naman yung libro. So, next check-in ko na ay kapag natapos ko na ang Janus Silang at babasahin ko na yung next prompt. So, bye! again, friends and strangers. It's been 3 days, I think, since I made my last update. I think my last update was when I was about to read Janus Silang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon, and it's already April 5. I'm slowly starting to realize that I may be bad at reading vlogs and keeping track of what I'm currently doing or reading in general. And just a quick check-in, I really loved Janus Silang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon by Edgar Calabia Samar. Sobrang ganda. After ko basahin to, in-add to cart ko agad yung books 2, 3, and 4. Kasi sakto sa 4 and 4 sale, 4 sale ng Shopee. So, salamat Shopee! Salamat Adarna at nag-sale ka ng books 1 to 4 ng Janus Silang. Sobrang ganda niya. Merong Filipino mythology aspect plus yung gaming aspect kasi yung Janus Silang, it includes this game called Tala Online. Itong Tala Online is more than just a game. And sobrang daming twists, sobrang daming reveals na nakaka-mindfuck. Like, you wouldn't believe na 179 pages lang to, pero it managed to na-manage niyang ma-shock ako, na-manage niya na ma-surprise ako dun sa mga nangyayari. It just proves na ang isang libro, it doesn't have to be super long para lang mag-establish ng sobrang gandang world building, character development, and an enticing plot. And this book just proves all of that. So yeah, after ko basahin si Jano Silang at ang Tiyanak ng Tabon, I read Isa's recently launched collection of poetry. It's called Pillow Talk. I also love this. If you haven't seen my review of this yet, it had such raw emotions that I feel like I'm both the one who broke Isa's heart and am Isa. Like, it's so emotional, and I feel like my heart is also breaking from all of the poems that she wrote. And there are trigger warnings though for those who are planning to pick up Isa's book, which you should be doing. Trigger warnings for depression, suicide ideation, self-harm, and unhealthy obsession. So please tread carefully if you're planning to read it. And yeah, I'll bring you to a short clip of me actually reading it yesterday. Hello, I'm back. You're back with this face. Okay, so I finished reading Pillow Talk yesterday, April 4, and again, I super loved it. You can check out my reviews on Goodreads and Storygraph. Next book that I'll be reading for the Black Lady Prompt, why can't I speak? For the Black Lady Prompt, which I have to read a book with mostly black color on the cover, and which is also written by a woman of color, I am going to read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. So I started listening to like I think the first chapter earlier today before I started work, and I think I'm still curious about what the issues would be or what problems would arise for the main character, Brianna. And I'm starting to be interested with wherever this is going, because it features a strong character who wants to be a game changer in the rapping scene, because she's a woman of color, and we all know that it's still pretty common that the rap scene is still male dominated, and it's one of the recurring themes that I'm constantly getting from, at least so far as the first two chapters that I've already read. So it's very interesting to see where this will go. So yeah, hopefully I'll be good at keeping my promise of giving an update after I've read On the Come Up, or maybe during, whatever, I don't know, floats my boat of a brain. I don't know. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.
2,000 years later.
Hi, hello friends and strangers. I'm back. I'm checking in. I finished On the Come Up by Angie Thomas last night, and it's for my Black Lady Prompt. It was an amazing book, just not as amazing as the other Angie Thomas books that I've read. It lacked the usual depth and precision that Angie has with her other books, but nonetheless, it's a highly recommended book because it tackles important issues like racial profiling, drug addiction, gun violence, and death of a loved one. The representation is also fantastic, hands down amazing. If you haven't picked this book up, please do. After I read this book, it is now April 9, and I'm no longer hoping that I'd be able to finish one more prompt by tomorrow when Philmith Readathon ends. So I'm gonna wrap this up tonight by going through the books that I've read for the readathon. In total, I was able to read 5 out of 7 prompts, so that's already a feat for me, and I congratulate the creators or the readers who managed to finish all the prompts. That's amazing. For the very first prompt, which is Maria Makiling, I read a book with an amazing cover, which is Monstrous by Marjorie Liu. For Malakas at Maganda, I read Jano Silang at Antianak ng Tabon. For Manananggal prompt, I read If I Tell You the Truth by Jasmine Kaur. Then for the Sirena prompt, I read Isa Catalunan's Pillow Talk because that just released recently. Lastly, I read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas for the Black Lady prompt. I wasn't able to read books for the Duende prompt, which is to read a paperback, and San Telmo, which is to read a book with fire on the cover or on the title. So I missed those two, and it's actually making me excited to join the next Philmith Readathon. So hopefully next year I'll be able to finish all of the prompts. But again, the point of the readathon anyway is for us to make a dent on our TBR and to enjoy and to talk to other readers who may have read the book that they've read or get new recommendations. So it's a very fun readathon, and I salute Gerald from Gerald the Bookworm for organizing this. If you haven't followed him yet or subscribed to his channel, please do. I'll link his account below. So yeah, that wraps up my Philmith Readathon vlog. I know I suck at doing reading vlogs right now because sometimes when I'm already reading the book, I'd forget to film and I'm already immersed in the book, so I'm like, I guess I'll just do a check-in. Doing a reading vlog is fun for me. I'm looking forward to filming more vlogs in this channel, so thank you for reaching this point of the video. I hope you're having a nice day or night wherever part of the globe you are in, and I'll see you, friends and strangers, on my next video. Bye.